Yo, what's good, my people? It's your boy, Big Chris, aka the Comic Animator, and I'm here to bring you another WWE RAW review. So tonight I'm reviewing WWE RAW for August 4th, 2014. And before we get into this review, we have some news things to kick off. So WWE showed the first screenshot for the WWE 2K15 game, and your first screenshot was John Cena. You can clearly tell that they're using the 2K engine for this game, and shooting up the graphics, it looks really, really good. It shocked me and everybody else this morning. You got John Cena on with that hellish, muscle-bound face of his. That was pretty funny, and I just think it has a good look. They also talked about the special edition game that they're going to be giving out, which is going to include a bunch of Hulk Hogan memorabilia. I'm not interested in that at all, but for the people that's interested, it has a piece of the mat and all type of other bullshit in it. So yeah, it is what it is. I can really care less about that. I just want the game, especially if it looks this good. So hopefully this is in-game graphics and not just just cutscene graphics or anything like that. So yeah, I thought it looked pretty good, and hopefully they're just doing the same thing they did with 2K14. And they also said they got to have a career mode that's only going to be available on the PS4 and Xbox One. So that's going to be interesting to see how different those two are. And this may make me get a PS4. I've been wanting it for a few other games. So this, and include, if I can see about 3 more games that I want, I may get a PS4 if I can see this and probably 3 more. Then it looks good to me. So yeah, this looks pretty cool. Also, if you're an MMA fan, check out the Daniel Cormier and John Jones little scuffle that they had at the one of their little interview things that they do for the MMA. So I thought this was pretty funny, just these guys going at it and stuff. Yeah, it just gave me a little chuckle, and I thought it was a very nice way for just some hype up for a fight. I wish WWE would do something more just entertaining like this. The banner falling in the background and these two just scuffling and stuff like that. A lot of people were just bitching about how, it's not what I want to see, and it's gonna defeat the sport and shit like that. I'm like, I don't care. I just want to see something that's entertaining. So enough of the MMA shit. Let's get on to my Raw review. And you have this show that start off with the Authority comes out all dressed up. You get Randy Orton in a suit and pants, which it cracks me up. Kane is in the background looking like Kane. They get to the ring, and Triple H starts going in about pay-per-views and all that stuff, and he just starts going in this whole night about this theme of the WWE Network being for $9.99, and he does it the whole time. Just kept bringing up everything that he said, every match that he introduced. He talked about it's going to be on the WWE Network for $9.99, and I thought it was hilarious. I thought this right here from him, his part was hilarious, and the way he got the crowd to react with it, I really thought it was funny. It was stupid as all hell, but it got a crack out. It got a crack out of me, and I thought it was a funny way to open up the show for Triple H. Just him kept going and beating in the whole $9.99 thing. You had Steph who gets on the mic and does a thing for her and Brie, and he beats the $9.99 thing again. And then you have Randy Orton who gets on the mic and starts talking about him versus Roman Reigns and what he's going to do to Roman Reigns and stuff. You get Roman Reigns who comes down and cuts a promo saying he just wants to fight guys, and he says he don't care where it's going to be at. He wants it to be now, and you can have that for free. Kind of digging the whole $9.99 dig and stuff like that, which I thought was pretty chill. And they get into a match that Triple H set up, which is Kane versus Roman Reigns in a last man standing match. I thought the whole opening segment was okay. I liked the Triple H $9.99 stuff. Everything else was just, okay for what it was. Nothing too big even out this opening segment, but the $9.99 shit. So as far as the last man standing match goes, I thought it was actually a pretty chill, last man standing TV match. It did what it needed to do. It did something better in that we didn't end up getting a regular fucking match out of Kane and Roman Reigns. We got something that, how can I say this? was more up to their speed. It gave them a chance to rest for a 10 count. It gave them a chance to use weapons and stuff like that. And it wasn't just, the basic thing for these guys. You had a couple of nice spots here with Roman Reigns and Kane. They kept throwing each other into barricades, using the chairs a lot. You get Roman Reigns who gets choke slammed into a table, and it finally ends up with Roman Reigns doing his spots and then hitting the spear onto Kane, and Kane goes down for the 10 counts. So I thought this was a pretty okay match and a nice way to open up the show for these guys. Next, you get Damian Sandow, who comes down and he has the Oklahoma Sooner stuff and starts just talking shit to Texas and the Longhorns. Mark Henry comes down and he starts going on. I mean, he starts raising the Texas Longhorn little sign and shit, and then they get into a match. Sandow gets beaten a minute, and Mark Henry cheers for the Texas guys. Nothing to this at all. Just Damian Sandow trying to get over and draw some heat from the Texas crowd, and Mark Henry making his return, beating down Sandow. So nothing much to this, just a goofy segment. Next, you get a match that I actually thought was pretty chill. Alberto Del Rio versus Dean Ambrose. Now, it was a beat the clock match. Basically, if Dean Ambrose won the Beat the Clock challenge, he would get to pick the stipulation. If Seth Rollins won, he would get to pick the stipulation for their match at SummerSlam. This match right here I thought was actually pretty fun to watch. Both of these guys did a nice job going at each other, did a nice job, really doing everything they need to do. A lot of people harp on Del Rio about just his character and stuff, but I think where he really works is in this in-ring stuff. Del Rio is really a workhorse to me, and I think that's exactly where he works. The match goes down with Dean Ambrose hitting his dirty deeds using his other arm that wasn't being torn up during the whole match. But yeah, I thought this was a pretty fun match. I thought both of these guys did exactly what they needed to do, doing a very nice job of just playing a match very well, especially playing all the spots that they needed to play. Next, you get Rusev, who basically beats down on Sin Cara on a fucking commercial break. The match starts on a commercial break, it ends on a commercial break. We never see it. They show us on a replay saying that, get the WWE app, anything can happen on the breaks. So, that's what you got from there. I really didn't care about that at all. I didn't even watch the match on the app, so I could care less. After that, you get Lana, who starts going on about Obama and how much he sucks and how soft he is. Shows a picture of him holding a poodle and a picture of Vladimir Putin holding a tiger, saying that their president is better. Then she says this is Barack's birthday today. Happy birthday, Barack. And she starts singing happy birthday to him, which I thought was pretty funny. I just found out earlier today that Lana was a singer, and she actually sung in a group for Neo or somebody. So that was pretty funny to me. So yeah, she sings happy birthday to Obama. In the midst of that, you get Zeb Coulter, who comes out, and also about her singing, I thought it was pretty funny the way she was singing it and stuff, kind of trying to be like a Marilyn Monroe kind of sexy type of thing, but she was also taking a dig at Obama at the same time. So Zeb Coulter comes out, and he starts talking about shut the fuck up, Lana. Basically, he's tired of hearing her and Rusev all this bullshit, and he basically says, you come out here and talk shit about America, but there's real Americans here who do a lot of great things for their country. He shows a guy that's a construction worker. He shows somebody else, and then he shows a bunch of army guys, and that gets a big prop out of the crowd. Lana doesn't like this. He basically does the weedy people stuff, and then Rusev beats down onto Swagger and basically intimidate Zeb Coulter in the corner and do the we the people thing back at him. So I thought this was a pretty okay segment here. The match was nothing, you didn't even see it, and I thought the promo segment from these guys was pretty chill. The crowd did get into it, and the feud is continuing. I'm interested to see where they go from here. So next you get a match between Dolph Ziggler versus Antonio Cesaro. Basically the match was Cesaro showing how strong he is, doing all these moves onto Ziggler and stuff. You had The Miz, who was on commentary, drinking lattes and shit. I think he was drinking a tea because supposedly something about his throat. And I don't know. He just playing this fucking weird ass character, this goofy ass character. The match ends with Ziggler hitting the zigzag onto Cesaro after Cesaro just keeps going and playing those same type of strongman moves, and Ziggler just takes the advantage of that. And then Miz gets in the ring, shows off to Cesaro, holds up the title belt, shows off to Ziggler, holds up, and then Miz holds up the title belt, and Ziggler plays to him that he's going to do a super kick. Miz falls down, scared of the kick, and that's the end of that segment. As far as this goes, I like that Ziggler got a win. I hate that Cesaro had to pick up a loss. As far as these feud between these two goes, I think it's okay. I'm okay with the Miz character right now. He's not doing anything too outlandish, and we did get a good match from him a couple weeks ago. So it's an okay vibe from him right now. He's better as a heel than as a face. So I'm not pissed off at anything about his character right now. Next, you get a match with Ryback versus the Dust Brothers. Um, your first time seeing Goldust and Stardust after doing all those vignettes. The match itself right here was pretty okay. You get Stardust who picks up the win using his finisher, which kind of looks like the mic check. They call it Dark Matter, and he uses that, picks up the win here. I thought the match was okay for what it was. I did like the character stuff from Stardust. At the end, they start hissing at each other. You get Goldust who does a little transsexual crawling and rubbing on his body shit. So that was pretty weird as fuck. um, so yeah, next they talk about the WWE Network, saying it's going to be around the world and stuff like that. So yeah, good for the people that's going to be able to get in soon in the future. Next, you get a match between between Chris Jericho and Luke Harper, and this is to see if Luke Harper is going to be able to be at Bray Wyatt's corner for the match on SummerSlam. As far as this match goes, I thought it was a pretty okay match here. Both of these guys work well in the ring. You got Luke Harper, who has some really nice moves on the Jericho. Jericho came back with some good stuff. They played that up very well. You had Eric Rowan, who did a lot of interfering in the match. It ends up with Bray Wyatt coming down and trying to interfere just by showing up. Chris Jericho ends up hitting a cold breaker onto Eric Rowan, and then ends up hitting another one onto Luke Harper, and that's when Bray Wyatt rushes the ring, pops Chris Jericho in the throat with that little thumb that's wrapped up in his hands, and then hits him up for the Sister Abigail, and basically stands tall. So it will be just them one-on-one at SummerSlam, nobody else to interfere. As far as their feud goes, I think the feud's been okay. I think their SummerSlam match, their Money in the Bank. I think Money in the Bank match was it Money in the Bank? No, their Battleground match. Sorry about that, people. A little stuffy. Their Battleground match was an okay match, but it didn't generate the hype that we thought it would have. I thought if that was a better match, then maybe I would be more interested in what they're doing here. Also, their promo game hasn't really been, crazy good. I would love to see them go back and forth in ring, promo versus promo against each other, and just, really go at it. But, they've been doing what they can do with the time allotted. I would rather for this to get a lot more time than the other filler shit that we've been getting on the show. But, this is okay segment. Afterwards, you had Bray Wyatt in another backstage segment who cut another promo on Chris Jericho and basically talked about him having the whole world in his hands, talked about Chris Jericho not saving everybody, and he did this whole thing where he cracked his knuckles to make that type of sound. I can actually do it with my hands to make that sound, and I heard a lot of people was creeped out by him doing that with his knuckles and shit, so that was pretty funny, and just to know that I can do it myself, just crack my fucking knuckles and shit. I can even show you. But yeah, that was pretty funny to me, and a pretty chill promo for Bray Wyatt. You don't really know what the fuck he's saying sometimes, but promo nonetheless. Next you get Kane, who's backstage. This is not a picture of what happened, but he's backstage, and he hands over his mask to Stephanie McMahon. I don't know what to think about this. He just goes back and hands it over. I don't sure if it's something playing up with this. I'm not sure if it's because the movie's coming out that he's doing. I really don't know, but hopefully they can figure out what they're going to do with this. I would actually kind of like to be kind of the end of the Kane character, and they'll push to something else, probably more of the corporate Kane stuff, and then them retire him from there. Kane is kind of done to me. I think it's not that much you can do with him now. So next you get Fandango versus Diego. Um, Fandango came out with a bald Hornswoggle who was dancing with him. Diego won the match. There's nothing I can say about this. The only funny thing was afterwards was the El Torito was humping on Layla when they was down the on the side of the ring and shit when she picked them up after their victory. So that was pretty hilarious to me to watch that damn bull hump onto Layla and shit. So that was pretty funny, but yeah, a bunch of other bullshit happened there. Another bullshit thing I could put with this was Adam Rose doing a Oculus type thing with the fucking mirror, where he looked in the mirror and saw a bad version of himself that he didn't care for. With yeah, it's a movie that I didn't like at all, and a character I'm really not liking right now. So another thing I could care less about. Oh, and also remember how I was hyping about how I liked the Triple H segment with the 9.99 shit. The announcers tonight was just horrible with it. They just burned it into the fucking ground. And like after I was like, oh, Triple H was pretty funny with this. The announcers made it horrible. And I heard other people like, oh, the announcers made it a little bit more funny because they kept digging into the stuff. I thought the more they went at it, the more it just pissed me off, and the more I was like, okay, I don't like this no more. Triple H was funny when he did it, but these guys really know how to make something just as horrible as can be. You also had Brock Lesnar, who. So to get on something pretty good, you had Brock Lesnar who got into a promo thing, and it was him and John Cena for a promo that they're doing together, and basically it was both of them going at it the whole little promo thing with each other and saying things like, you know, what I'm going to do to each other. I came here for a certain reason. You had Brock Lesnar who was basically talking about his past and stuff, and that he was here for a long time, you know, doing his thing. He had left to go to UFC, and John Cena even harped on this as well about him leaving to go to UFC. He came back, and now he's the most dominant guy to go for the championship. They talked about his winning over the Undertaker and stuff like that. And you had John Cena who talked about, you know, if Brock Lesnar was here, then he was going to be able to just beat him, and Brock Lesnar was going to be nothing. Brock Lesnar said the vice versa, that if he was here for that whole time, John Cena would be nothing and he'll be the top guy. So I really like this little promo videos that they gave these two. I thought it was a nice way, even though both of them was off the show tonight, for to build up their match. It kind of like a UFC thing again, where you just build up their match through the video promos and stuff, you know, showing the past of these guys and stuff like that, showing things that they did, and, you know, just promoing against each other and stuff. I really did thought that was a pretty cool thing, and it got me very interested to their SummerSlam match. So yeah, I thought it was pretty funny in a pretty good way. Also, this little thing with Brock Lesnar and saying that he's going to beat Cena so bad that it's going to be left in a pool of his own blood, urine. What does he say? Vomits. So I thought these bodily functions that Lesnar's going to leave Cena in was pretty funny to me. So let's get back to that. And next you had AJ Lee and Paige. They basically showed the whole thing of Paige pushing AJ Lee off the stage. They said AJ Lee got whiplash from that, and Paige cut a promo backstage basically saying she missed her friend AJ, playing up to the whole frenemy thing, and that she hopes she can see her back soon. They said that AJ's going to be at main event. I'll talk about that once I see it tomorrow and review it on Friday. And basically, you know, did the whole promo thing with Paige backstage. I thought it was an okay promo from Paige. She's still not where I really want her to be as far as this really full heel. She's still more of the cocky heel, which I think is an okay for her. But I think if you play her up full on heel, full on fucking devilish badass heel, I think she would be even more fun to watch. After that, you had a match with Bo Dallas versus R-Truth. Continue on that little series of stuff right here. Bo Dallas ends up winning when they roll up pin and using these tights to cheat. I thought actually having him cheat was a pretty good idea. R-Truth did look okay here with a little bit of strong moves, but that was nothing. Bo Dallas cheered afterwards and then was thrown into the barricades and attacked by R-Truth. Then Bo Dallas hits him with the Bulldog after doing it off the steps and stuff. So picked up another piece of heat from him, and the crowd did start booing Bo Dallas for this. Nothing really much to this, just them going back and forth with the whole theme versus these two. I don't think they're going to go anywhere with this, but it's okay for what it was. After that, you get your main event match, which was Seth Rollins, who came down, and he's going to do the beat the clock thing against Rob Van Dam. But you get the Authority, who come out and say instead of Van Dam, it's going to be Heath Slater. Or, well, Justin Roberts, I think, comes out and says instead of Rob Van Dam, it's going to be Heath Slater. So you get the match between them two. Heath Slater basically starts getting beat up, and then you get my boy Dean Ambrose, who comes down, and he just starts antagonizing Seth Rollins. He goes, grabs his briefcase, and just tears up his contract. Then he starts getting things from the crowd like soda and popcorn and stuff, and he just pisses off Seth Rollins at the best of his abilities. He grabs JBL's hat, throws it in there, and just starts swinging it around, soda dripping everywhere. The announcers are getting pissed at it. I think they was really getting pissed that he was dropping soda on all their equipment and stuff, which I thought was very funny. You get Heath Slater, who actually picks up a win here on a main event match and rolls up Seth Rollins for the 1-2-3, and then you get Seth Rollins who's pissed off at the end. I really did like this segment right here. I thought playing up the Heath Slater stuff was really good, and just having Dean Ambrose be another part of the thorn in Seth Rollins' side, I thought that was very well done. And this was actually a distraction segment that I liked, where somebody distracted the other guy, and it just wasn't somebody dancing on a table or just them playing music or getting on a mic or something. This was actually them doing something that would actually have you distracted. Tearing up your contract for a WWE title shot, that would distract the shot of me and will piss me off, or them fucking up your briefcase that's going to have your title shot in it is would be something that will piss me off very much. So that I could see somebody getting distracted for at least that, which I thought was pretty good. So after that, you get your final segment, which is Brie and Stephanie McMahon. You got Triple H and Nikki Bella at their vice versa sides. Triple H comes out, starts cutting a promo about his love for Stephanie and how she's a legend to him and stuff like that, and saying that he's on her side, so he can't really moderate this whole thing. He gets Michael Cole to moderate for him. Brie gets on the mic. She starts talking about how Stephanie's been a thorn in her side. She's kicked her out, fired her, done all the crazy shit to her sister, done bad shit to Daniel Bryan, to Big Show, Vicky Guerrero, and the Rhodes brothers, and a bunch of other people, and now she's getting revenge for all that. Brie wasn't still really good here. I thought she was better than last week, but she still has bad timing, very, very bad timing, but I guess she was okay here, especially for who she is. Somebody else made this point that, on Total Divas, she's a lot better than this, and I kind of agree from what I've seen, like the few episodes that I have seen in Total Divas. She does talk better than this. I guess just her being in front of a live crowd really hasn't helped her out at all. But she signs the contract, and then Stephanie gets on the mic, and she just starts going at Brie Bella. Oh, also, another thing I wanted to say. Brie said, she would start talking shit about Stephanie, and she starts saying how Stephanie traded in her business suit for a Joe suit, and traded in her husband Triple H for her cellmate Big Beulah. And I was like, who the fuck? Like, you don't go, when you say your cellmates that's going to rape you, you don't go Beulah. You go Bertha, or like a dude, Bubba. You go something that has a, kick to it. Beulah, is just too flat. You go Bertha, something like that. Something that sounds like sinister, like some backwash hillbilly that's going to rape you in the middle of the fucking night. So I thought that really did piss me off, that I was like, oh, she going to say Big Bertha, and she just said Big Beulah. I was like, somebody should be slapped for coming up with that line. So yeah, you get Stephanie McMahon, who gets on the microphone, and she starts cutting her promos. Stephanie is pretty good as always. Says about talking shit about Daniel Bryan, and saying that he's not here to help you and stuff. Saying that she's better than her basically and stuff like that. Just better delivery. She didn't really say that much more than Brie, but Stephanie most definitely has better delivery. She signs the contract, slaps the shit out of Nikki Bella with it. Triple H pushes Brie into pushes the table on Brie and all the way to the corner, so getting her stuck. And then Stephanie pedigrees Nikki Bella, cheers with Triple H. Then Brie slaps Triple H, gets out of the corner. Stephanie bashes her head into the table, and then Stephanie pedigrees B. Bella as well. So the show ends with them kissing, like violently kissing. Like Stephanie grabs the shot at Triple H and just starts kissing him violently, and then them cheering and walking away as the top heels of the night. Another Stephanie and Brie ending the show. So also $9.99. Remember, everybody, $9.99. As far as this show goes, I didn't really like it that much. I thought it was very, very average, very, very mediocre. Not that much in it that I liked at all. I like for things I probably didn't like, the few matches that I saw. The opening match I thought was okay. I like the opening segment for the $9.99 part. The Dean Ambrose versus Del Rio match I thought was pretty chill. I did like the Dean Ambrose Seth Rollins end segment, and that probably was about it. The Jericho stuff was okay, and everything else was just okay. There was too many goofy segments here, way too many goofy segments, and the ones that they did have was not funny at all. I didn't find any of them funny at all. I did like the promo stuff from Cena and Lesnar there, but that's something I could have probably seen online and still got a kick out of it online. Nothing really that said me this. Oh, this is a Raw I have to see at all. Tell you the truth, even everything I saw, even though I liked some of the stuff, there was nothing here that said, oh, this is the Raw to watch. So yeah, this was a very mediocre Raw. I would give it a C minus, almost a D, but I would go for a C minus. And buy the network for $9.99, people. $9.99 is the price. $9.99 is a lifestyle. Keep watching wrestling. $9.99. Yeah, $9.99, people. And yeah. Oh, like, comment, subscribe. $9.99. Let me stop. Thank you for watching, people. Hit me up for the links down below. And thank you. Peace.